Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Now in this video, we are going to discuss about average or some basic questions of average which are frequent in CAT. Now for CAT purpose, average is an important topic. In every slot of CAT, you will get one question on average. Now, generally, we know the definition of average is that the total number of observations divided by number of observations that we all know. But here in this video, we're going to discuss some questions where we'll explore the logical way of solving questions or applying logical methods rather than numerical methods, which is going to be lengthy. So here we'll explore how we can solve questions by using logical methods. So let's take some example to understand the idea. The first it says, in the land of heavyweights, the average weight of three men A, B, C is 84 kg. Another heavyweight D joins the group and the average now becomes 80 kg. If another man E, whose weight is 3 kg more than D, replaces A, then the average weight of B, C, D and E becomes 79 kg. Find the weight of A. Now we can solve these questions easily by writing equations ABC average. So sum of ABC, sum of ABCD, subtract. We can do that by writing equations. But we can do that faster, or we can solve this question faster by applying logical method, which is going to be fun and interesting if you follow. So first, if we think this way, that ABC, so first we have the three people ABC, and it says that average is 84 kg. Now, if a new person joins scene, that means A, B, C, D, then the average now becomes 80 kg. Okay, that's what it says. Now, from these, how can I find the value of D or how can I find the weight of D? Now, simple logic is if the weight of D was 84, if the weight of D was 84, then the overall average would have remained 84 itself. Okay. If the weight of D was 84, then the average of ABCD would have remained 84. But it is not 84. In fact, the average has decreased by 4. The average has decreased by 4 kg. That means the total or the total decrease in weight for the 4 people must be 16 kg. Which means D is bringing in 16 kg less than 84. Which means D's weight must be 68 kg. Right? Then it says E, whose weight is 3 kg more than D. So from this I can say E shall be equal to 68 plus 3, which is 71 kg. Okay. Next it says, if E replaces A, then the weight of BCD is 79 kg. Find the weight of A. Now, if E replaces A, then what happens? That means E, B, C, D. Now their average weight now becomes 79 kg. Okay. So what's the weight of E? What's the weight of A? Now again the same logic, you see. If E was equal to A, right? If E's weight was equal to A, then the average would have remained 80 kg. There would be no change in average. But now it says average was 80, now it has become 79. That means average has decreased by 1 kg. Now 4 people's average have decreased by 1 kg. So what's the total decrease in weight? The total decrease is 4 kg. Which means E's weight must be 4 kg less than A's weight. In other words, A must be 4 kg more than E, which means A must be equal to 75 kg. So that's my answer, option C. So logical application or calculations or our solving time becomes greatly reduced and we can make this quite efficiently without much calculations. So that's the advantage of solving questions logically when it comes to average. Now you see, if we take the next example, it's exactly what appeared in CAT 23, exactly similar question. And it says, there are 3 persons A, B and C in a room. If a person D joins the room, the average weight of the person in the room reduces by x kg. Instead of D, if person E joins the room, the average weight of the persons in the room increases by 2x kg. If the weight of E is 12 more than D, then the value of x is what? It's exactly similar question, very similar question to what I discussed in the last question. So we apply the same logic here, same logical approach. So first I know that A, B, C, right? So let's assume that average is P kg. Okay, the average is P kg. Now when D joins the room, so the average of A, B, C, D now reduces by x kg. That means now new average is P minus x, right? So from this, can I find the value of D? Simply yes. Now average has reduced by x kg. Okay. If the value of D was P, then there would be no change in average. But average has decreased by x kg. So what's the total decrease in weight? Or total decrease in weight will be what? For 4 people, total decrease is 4x. That means D's weight must be P minus 4x kg. This we can say. On the other hand, instead of D, if E joins the room, average would have increased by 2x kg. So if E joins here, then the new average would have been P plus 2x kg, right? That means in this case, the average has increased by 2x kg. That means E is bringing in more weight than P. How much more? So 4 people's average has increased by 2x kg, right? 4 people's average is increased by 2x kg. So total increased by how much? That means total must have increased by 8x kg, which means E is bringing in 8x more than P. Now it says if E is 12 kg more than D, that means E minus D equal to 12. Now it's simple. P plus 8x minus P minus 4x equal to 12, which means 12x equal to 12, which is x equal to 1. And that's my desired answer. So again, a similar logical application in CAT questions, which makes things very fast and efficient. Moving on next. Another example we take where we can apply this logical application to our advantage. Now it says the average weight of chair, table, and cot is 70. The average price of table, cot, and bookshelf is 85. If the price of bookshelf is 70, find the price of chair. So let's take chair is X, table is Y, and cot is Z. That means the average of X, Y, and Z is equal to 70. And also the average of table means Y, cot is Z, and bookshelf, let's take W. That means the average of Y, Z, and W is equal to 85. Now the price of bookshelf is 70. So bookshelf, that means W is given to be as 70. What's the price of chair? So I have to find the value of X, in other words. Now you see, average of XYZ is 70 and W is also 70. So if I combine XYZ with W, then what I can say? That means I can easily say that the average of X, Y, Z, and W would also be 70. Okay, average of X, Y, Z, and W. That means average of the 4 items is also 70. Okay. Now, if I remove X out of it, then the average of Y, Z, W becomes 85. Okay. That means, in other words, I can say average of Y, Z, W is 85. Then when I include X with this group, then the average decreases to 70. So what's the value of X? Again, if I apply simple logic, it would be what? See, if the value of X was 85, then there would be no change in average. But average has decreased, which means value of X must be less than 85. So what you can say here? So how much has decreased? From 85, the average has decreased by 15. So 4 people's average has decreased by 15. That means the total has decreased by 60. That means X is bringing in 60 less than 85. That means X is bringing in only 25. So that's my value of X. All right. So this logical application is quite simple and fast if you just practice a couple of questions based on this. Next. Similarly, if we take the CAT 24 slot 1, these are latest current year's questions, the last year's CAT question. Based on the same logic, we can apply. So it says, there are 4 numbers such that average of the first 2 numbers is 1 more than the first number. The average of the first 3 number is 2 more than the average of the first 2 numbers. And the average of the first 4 numbers is 3 more than the average of the first 3 numbers. Then the difference between the largest and the smallest number is what? So theta question, as you see. So again, what I can say here. So let's take the first number is A. Okay. Now it says the average of the first 2 number is 1 more than the average, 1 more than the therefore average of the first 2 number is 1 more than the first number. That means what? So the second number, let's take B. So average of A and B is 1 more than, that means A plus 1. That means with A, when I include B, the average is increasing by 1. So what's the value of B? If the value of B was A itself, then there will be no change. But average is increasing by 1. So 2 people's average is increasing by 1. Right? 2 people's average is increasing by 1. Therefore, that means total is increasing by what? That means total is increasing by 2, which means B is bringing in 2 more than A. So I can say that the second person's age should be, or the second person's value should be, or the second number's value must be A plus 2. Okay. So I can say in other word, the second number must be A plus 2. Now next, third number. So let's assume for the time being, third number is C. Now it says the average of the first 3 number is 2 more than the average of the first 2 numbers. Okay. Now I know that the average of the first 2 number is A plus 1. Now you see, if the value of C was A plus 1, then the overall average would also be A plus 1. But it says that the average is increasing by 2 more. That means average is increasing by 2 more. Now, 3 people's average is increasing by 2 more, which means the total increment must be 6. That means the third number must be A plus 1 plus 6, which means the third number must be A plus 7. This I can say. Fine. So, keeping this in mind now, what's the average of the 3 numbers? The average of 3, 2 more than the average of the first 2 numbers, which means A plus 3. Okay. Now, what is the fourth number? So let's say this is the first number, this is the second number, this is the third number, and the fourth number, let's take D. Okay. Now, average of the first 4 number is 3 more than the average of the first 3 numbers. So average of the first 4 numbers, that is D. That is 3 more. Now, again the same logic if I apply, if average of the first 3 number is A plus 3. Now, if the value of D was A plus 3, then the average would have remained same. But the average has increased by plus 3. That means 4 numbers average has increased by 3. So what's the total increment in the 4 numbers? That would be 3 into 4 or 12. That means value of D must be 12 more than A plus 3, which means the fourth number must be A plus 15. So these are basically my 4 numbers, A plus 2, A plus 7, and A plus 15. So what's the difference between the largest and the smallest? The smallest is a plus 15, largest is smallest is a, and the largest is a plus 15. So the difference is simply 15. So the logical approach is a very powerful method if you apply and practice. Next, if you take another offbeat type of question that appeared long back in CAT. Now it says consider a set S which goes like 2, 3, 4 up to 2n plus 1, some odd number, where n is a positive integer larger than 2007. So n is more than 2007. Defined as x as the average of the odd integers and y is the average of even integers. So what's the value of x minus y? Now the sequence is, this goes from 2, 3, 4 up to a big number where n is more than 2007. Now mind it the property, the sequence, if I take n equal to 2007 or 8, it is going to become a very long and big calculations, very clumsy and long, lengthy calculations. But here the idea is, the logic is, this is a consecutive numbers. So the property of consecutive numbers, if it starts from 2, if it goes from 2 to 10 or 2 to 2000, okay, or 2 to 4000, the properties will remain same whatever we take. Like if I take the average of odd numbers and average of even numbers, if I take, now if the sequence goes from 2 to 10 or 2 to 2000, the properties will remain same. So there is no point in taking a big number like more than 2007. Instead, we should take a small number which will make our calculation simpler and faster. So what I can take here? Instead of 2010, 2007, like a small number, say n equal to 3 or 4 or 5 as you wish, which means 2, if I put n equal to 3, it will be 2 into 3, 6 plus 1, 7. So my sequence will go till 7. So 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay. So the sequence goes from 2 to 7. Now we carry out the instruction. X is what? Average of odd integers. So what are the odd integers here? 3, 5 and 7 divided by 3, which is equal to 5. Okay. And y is average of even integers. So what are even integers? 2, 4 and 6, which is equal to 4. So simple. What is x minus y? Which is 5 minus 4. That is going to be 1. So no matter what you take the value for n, the resulting value is always going to be 1. Okay. So these are our some typical examples of average where we have seen or we have understood the application of logical way of solving question instead of typical writing equations and calculations. Okay, so with this I am signing off. So I'll come back with some other questions or new topics in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye.